Hello, and welcome to the Millennial. Today we'll be talking about three topics again, and these topics are going to be things that I have encountered in my spiritual journey. Still going through it, I definitely realized that the spiritual journey never is actually complete. You just keep, going, and you keep furthering yourself, and you keep becoming your best self every single day, and you have to push yourself to be your best self every single day because it is hard. Temptation will arise, and you will be, faced with, the spiritual test of what do you do now that you're at these crossroads. And I want to talk to you guys today about understanding your purpose. Understanding your purpose is a very important thing that everybody needs to know how to do. It's very interesting to go through life and not know your purpose. I can talk about when I, didn't know what my purpose was. I was just working for people, working for a 9 to 5. I even went to a Hebrew Israelite community and tried to find my purpose there. You could try to find your purpose through spirituality. You could try to find your purpose being an athlete or whatever. It doesn't matter what specifically you indulge yourself in. It matters what mind frame you have when you are indulging yourself into the specific occupation or duty that you're doing. I say this because a lot of people go throughout life and they are just pretty much going through the motions. They don't actually have the intellect of understanding why they're doing the things that they're doing. They understand that yes, it is for compensation, yes, but it is not a fire in them, or they're not doing a job and constantly thinking about their passion that they're using that job, that current job to pay for. Like, let's say if you're serving at a restaurant or whatever, but you got skills to help you pay for rent and stuff like that. So you're just using a job to pay your worldly bills and stuff like that. But your passion is singing. Your passion is music production and things of that nature, and you're just using that job, but you understand your purpose. You understand that you have a gift, and that is singing or music production or whatever it is. I think that understanding your purpose is the most important thing, and it is why we are here on this earth. And I think that it is like a maze. I feel like the earth is full of tests and full of obstacle courses that we have to jump over to figure out why specifically we're here. I definitely ask myself this all the time, and times get hard. Times are definitely hard, especially being an advanced human. Having the intellect of just having so much knowledge is absolutely, it can be very rewarding, and at the same time it can be very hindering because you don't know your purpose because you're just filled with so much information. And as millennials, we've been told that thinking too much is not okay, and I think that it's kind of a confused system because these are gifts that we have of thinking a lot and saying what's on our mind, but necessarily we still don't know our purpose in life because Everyone has told us that we can't be making decisions on a governmental level, or we're not old enough to say how this world should be ran. There are still older, biased people making decisions, and they, quote unquote, have found their purpose because they're older and they're making decisions for this planet and things of that nature, and that's cool or whatever, but they don't have the natural empathic gifts that the millennials have. And I think that definitely is going to be a spark to everybody's purpose, is us believing in that empathic power that we all have, because I know I definitely have it, and it just makes me a really nice, aware person, more aware than a lot of, definitely my parents, definitely older generations. They just seem to be so in tune into this reality, when all in all, I'm actually not really in tune into the reality, because I know that the reality is there to distract us from what really is going on, more spiritually. And I should be paying more to materialistic things than I should spiritual things. So I think that once everybody starts to figure out, are you a painter? Are you a driver? Are you a humanitarian? Are you what is your purpose? Why are you here? When everybody starts asking themselves those questions, then I really think that this world will be just better by all comparison, because no one will be asking anybody for validation or approval, because knowing your purpose takes away all of those questions entirely. The next topic we're going to be talking about is listening to yourself. Listening to yourself is probably, I want to say, the hardest thing. because you know that you always have the right answer. You know that conscious will tell you that you always have the right answer. And you don't have to go around acting like you're big and bad and tough and you want to fit into society and you want to, be a brute and you want to, just go with the flow of what people are telling you to do. You don't want to indulge in corruption, but that's what everybody else is doing, so why don't you just do that? You don't want to talk bad about somebody or get so drunk and wasted every night, and you see your energy matching up with that same energy, and you're wondering why all your relationships don't work out, and you're wondering why you're losing your jobs, and you're wondering why, everything negative is happening to you, and I think all of those things could be answered if you just listen to yourself the first time. And I'm definitely talking to myself too. That I definitely have been listening to myself more, and I'm really starting to see what is in store for myself now that I've been listening to myself, and it's absolutely amazing. I'm starting to see that I always have the answer. It's amazing. It's amazing to come to the realization that you always have the answer. You don't have to look for the answer because you already have it. When you come in a situation, the first thought that comes to your head is the thought that you should go with. And that thought that comes after that first thought is the thought that you feel the most comfortable going with, because it is secondary to the highest. And in society, that has been taught as, oh, you should just go with that. Like, you should just forget about the best. Just go with the second best. And I don't know. And I played sports when I was a kid, and I was a very competitive person. So, and my dad was military. So it was not really a thing for me to see second. I've never really seen or felt that if I got second place, I was a winner. But it seems as though society teaches us to listen to our secondary conscious, if you will. I don't really even think that that's a thing, but our thoughts that tell us, oh no, you shouldn't listen to your first thoughts. You should listen to your thoughts that are telling you not to do what your highest consciousness is telling you to do. And then once you do those thoughts, you feel good for like a minute, and then you always revert back to saying, man, I should have listened to myself. So why did you listen to yourself in the first place? That's the question that we're going to have to start asking ourselves. That is the question that everybody in the whole world should start asking themselves, because we have the answer. And imagine if a lot of people started listening to themselves. This world essentially would really be a better place, because we wouldn't be depending on other people to take care of our problems. We would be depending on ourselves to take care of our problems. But nobody wants to take care of their problems. But essentially, that's a mind trick in itself, because there really is no problem. We don't have to fix anything. We have the answers for everything to be okay in that, and we just have to listen to ourselves. But there are so many things that have been put out into the world to drown out the consciousness that people don't even hear what that little voice inside of your head is saying, because you're so used to other people telling you what to do. You're so used to the president telling you what to do. You're so used to listening to, everybody else's opinion, and you never take time to listen to your own opinion, because you used your energy and put it upon other people's validation in order to feel like you belong. But if you just listen to that voice inside of you, listen to yourself, you will always feel like you belong in every setting. And people will learn to listen to you, because they will feel the energy that you only listen to yourself. Because when I go to places all the time, and when I call people, and when I say things, they understand that I'm not talking for no reason. I'm not just saying words for no reason. I only speak when it is important, because the way that I've been raised and the way that I've been brought into this world, I don't have time to say unimportant things. And I feel like the highest conscience is definitely like that as well. You will not find the conscience saying things to you that is absolutely not necessary. You won't. I mean, there's no point. There's no point of you listening to yourself and the conscious leading you down the wrong direction. That will never happen, I promise you. But what will always happen, and I guarantee you this will happen, is when you get in a little funky situation and your conscience tells you to do something and you say, oh no, I can I don't really need to do that. That's too hard. And then you end up doing something else, and then you say, man, like I should have listened to my conscience because it was right the whole time. That's where you mess up. That's where you feel regret, and that's where you start to question, man, do I trust myself? But it's just like working out. Like I said, I'm an athlete, so working out requires discipline, and it's like a muscle. You have to listen to yourself, take baby steps, and listen to yourself, because every time you listen to yourself and make a decision that your conscience says, then you will see the positive benefits of listening to yourself. And every time you make a decision that your conscience didn't tell you to do, you will see the repercussions that will follow up immediately after you didn't listen to yourself. And you will see, wow, like energetically, this really does work like this. I really do have to listen to myself in order to be my best self, and I have to ignore those other thoughts that try to divert me from the highest spiritual path that my conscience is already in tune to. And if I just listen to my conscience, then I will be another step ahead of the game. And the last thing that we're going to be talking about today is to practice focusing. Practice focusing. I want everybody to do this. I want everybody to do this right now. I want you to imagine the best life you could have for yourself. I want you to imagine yourself the happiest you could be. Now, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to judge you. But what did you just think about? You don't have to say it out loud. Now you saying that you're going to be the happiest once you get to that point of your life, right? And obviously, if you're thinking about that, then that means that you're not there right now. So what are you going to do to get to that point? Are you going to work really hard? Are you going to, what are you going to do? I think that the only thing that you need to do is just keep imagining that. Keep imagining that thought in your head of the happiest you're going to be, the highest point. I know you can't imagine what God has in store for you, but try to just think of where you will be the most content, whether it is in Hawaii, and you got a big house, and you got a Tesla, or you're in Colorado snowboarding, and you're happy, you got a girlfriend, and you got a dog, and it really doesn't matter. Just imagine yourself the happiest that you could be all the time. Because then, when you focus on that, on being happy, on being your happiest over a period of time, I promise you, you will find yourself getting the tools and the elements to get to that point in your life. And you'll be like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I was thinking of being the happiest that I could be, and now I'm happy. I'm so happy because I'm getting the things that will lead me to this life. If you focus on being happy, just the emotion, you will be so surprised of what good karma comes into your life. If you focus on being persistent, if you focus on being driven, if you focus on being empathic, if you focus on being fit, if you focus on being rich, happy, and healthy, whatever you focus on, let it be positive. Let whatever you focus on be a stem from the energy of positivity, and I promise you, you will see the benefits of your thoughts. Your thoughts are the most powerful thing that this world has to offer. Your thoughts are more powerful essentially than the world, because the world is just one speck of it's just one rock. It's just one rock hosting all of us, but we're essentially more powerful than the earth because our thoughts give us what this earth has to offer us. But you have to know that. You have to know that happy thoughts conjure more positivity for yourself, which then in turn gives you what you need in order to succeed a successful life for yourself. But you wouldn't know that if you were constantly focusing on negativity. And subconsciously, people are focusing on negativity when they go to work because they say, oh, I hate my job. But what your mind receives that as is, okay, you just said you hate your job, so I'm gonna make sure that this is the worst day for you that you ever had because you're saying you hate your job. Whereas you could go into work with a positive attitude, saying this is gonna be the best day ever. I'm gonna go into work and I'm gonna have a great day, and I promise you, you'll probably get a raise that same day because it matters what you think about yourself, not what somebody else tells you to think or anything like that. You have control over your own thoughts. Essentially, you don't even have to go to work that time when you're saying, oh, I hate going in. You could focus on doing something completely different, starting a whole new business or something like that, and be given the tools that you need in order to do that. I promise you, they'll come out of the blue, because if you're focusing on doing something else, then by the power of the law of attraction, the things that you need in order to fulfill that manifestation will come to you. But you have to be persistent. You have to keep focusing, practice focusing on what you want to happen in your life, and I promise it will happen. You know, I don't have any money to give anybody, but money will definitely be a thing of the past for you, because you won't even be worried about money. Money is just an energy. Money comes when you feel rich, when you feel the essence of you deserve the best things that this world has to offer. That is, I feel like money is just a physical manifestation of that feeling. And once everybody understands that money is energy on a 4D and a 5D spectrum, on the 3D version of the energies that replicate feeling rich and currency and is money. And back in the day it was gold coins. Before that it was probably jewels and things of that nature. Over time it has changed, but the energy has never changed, because energy cannot change. You know, we're still having these same thoughts, and now that we have, you know, probably new languages, well, I don't really think languages can interfere with energy, because at a time Homo sapiens didn't even talk. We just everything was actually telepathic. But then we switched to sign language, and then it probably, drifted into other things. But that's neither here or there. But that's just a little history for you. But the one thing that never changed, or the one thing that actually did change, is people started to just focus on other things, and then that is where all the separation and all of those things came from. But we live in a time now of the current 2018, and a lot of things are coming out to help people get back on track. And the Millennial, I'm starting the Millennial to tell people that it is definitely possible for you to conquer your dreams and your aspirations, but you just have to stay focused and stay on one path, and only focus on one thing at a time, and get one thing done at a time, and then move on to the next thing. That's another topic that I wanted, not a topic, but it's a part of the same topic that I'm talking about, staying focused. If you stay focused, you have to focus on one thing at a time. That's how energy works. Because if you focus on multiple things, then you will have multiple frequencies going on around you. You won't even notice, or you won't even see progress, and you might see it slowly. It'll definitely happen if you are constantly focused on multiple things at a time, but you will in turn feel very stretched out and stressed out, because you have too many frequencies going on inside of you, and you're the one that's causing it because you're not focusing on one thing. And that is the most important thing that I can tell you, because when you start to focus on multiple things, you start to give life to multiple things. When you have to realize that you're a god, and there are gods and goddesses on this earth, and everybody has the energy to make or break anything. But what requires growth from an external item can only happen if you give energy to it. Thank you so much for listening to The Millennial.